Good morning. Good morning. I am John Halson. This is Love Morning. I am so glad you're here. This is a daily practice of gratitude and sharing, connection, togetherness. Sometimes it's a little Burning Man decompression if there's something like that on your mind. Love to hear what you are grateful for today, or what is in your heart and head, because we're all having human experiences. And as we share authentically with one another what we're going through, it amplifies, it multiplies our ability to experience this humaning that we're all doing. We're not alone. In fact, we're so much more alike than we are different. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. And I like to try to start with a little bit of a song that I try to make up as we go. This song's a little different because I'm starting it from a seat. That's not all that different, but it's you I want to meet. And if we keep on singing and say what we're grateful for, we'll get so happy that we will be laughing on the floor. It's Love Morning. Oh, it's Love Morning. It's Love Morning. It's Love Morning. What you grateful for? Good morning. Good morning, Gerbot. Good to see you. And hello, Primegeist. It says, I'm thinking about correspondence and journeys. Ooh, can you wrap that into a gratitude? Grateful for journeys we've just had, or grateful for people that you have correspondence with? Or what about the journeys and the correspondence or do you have gratitude for? That's one of the benefits of this practice is, like, I look at my day, like what happened yesterday, and then I go, okay, what pieces of that are the juicy, the yummy things, and then just trying to give a little extra attention to the things that are good about what's going on. So yeah, because otherwise it's too easy to keep inventory of what's wrong, what needs improvement, what didn't work. But you go, what worked good yesterday? I am grateful that I had a chance to jump in the ocean yesterday. I'm grateful that I had some wonderful opportunities to cuddle with my beloved. I am grateful that I just got to say adieu, farewell, and safe travels to my partner who's on her way to a retreat. I'm grateful that I am in partnership with someone who is so wise and grounded and beautiful, and I'm so grateful that she gets to share her presence and wisdom with the world. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Razorblade. Primegeist, you made it for the song. And yesterday I was saying, like, oh, my songs have sucked lately. Today's kind of rocked, didn't it? Some new rhymes that I don't think I've used before. What are you grateful for? What are you feeling grateful for today? What else happened yesterday? I'm grateful that when we got in the car to drive from Solana Beach to San Diego, the traffic was red. It was like twice as long as it normally would be. And my beloved Lisa says, how about I drive? And I'm like, that's okay. She said, no, I'll drive. And so I pulled over and we switched because she knew that I would be more affected by traffic than she would be. And I thought that was a beautiful gift, It's also, I'm grateful that we are having the opportunity to learn to trust one another and learn to receive. I think both of us are in the boat of lots of life experience of being independent and taking care of ourselves. And so the idea of if I've got an obstacle, okay, I got to do traffic, like, ugh. Like having someone say, well, I could make it easier. Like, it's okay. I got this. But so it's a good practice. You go, okay, yeah, all right. I will let you help me. That's something. I was at a camp out last weekend, and Lisa and we were going from our tent to the main area, and we saw a friend, and they were by themselves putting up a big tent. And Lisa's like, can we help you? And he's like, well, I think I got this. And I was like, isn't that interesting? I too, if someone says, do you need any help? I will say no. But I said, could it be any easier if we helped you? And he said, yes. So then we helped and had the tent up lickety split. Could it be any easier if I helped? That's a way to navigate around the, I'm independent, I don't need your help. Well, look at all the wonderful people who've joined us. Welcome, Yamil. Good to see you. Razorblade is grateful to be here as my laptop isn't working, so I'm watching on my phone. So, am I smaller because I'm on your phone? I will speak louder if I am small. Wait, that doesn't work. Good morning. And just so you know, Razorblade, like, I know that you're in Australia, and I'm not like visualizing you in Australia, but there's a part of my brain that has this like vague globe awareness. And when the first time you say, good morning, it puts a dot on the other side of the world. And suddenly like our network of Love Ambassador web of Hug Nation existence just goes, and you are pulling a lot of weight of making a global community. So I just appreciate you. Zoe says, good morning, happy Thursday. Good morning, Zoe. How was your burn? I think you've already told me, but it was so wonderful. When I saw Zoe at the burn, she's like, can you guess who this is? And I can't remember what you were wearing, but it was something that obscured your features. And by the sheer whimsicalness of your appearance, I got it right. Good morning, Yacha. It was an improv song. I try to do an improv song every morning, making up the song and the melody, the words and the melody. Sometimes it gets a little repetitive. You might notice that I often rhyme gratitude and attitude. So, I think that's fair. Yamil says, I am grateful that we are not getting a direct hit from Hurricane Helene. Oh, well, I'm happy to hear that too. I love the ability to hear that this is a natural thing that is a serious thing in your world. In San Diego, I'm not aware of it, but I can get a sense of intensity around the world. Or like Tall Paul is a daily participant in the gratitude circles that happen at Zoom at noon, when you're always welcome. And he is in New Mexico, where he has this crazy heat, and he's often shares, it's 105 today. And just like having the sense of other people in their physical environments, I find it enriches my experience. So thank you. Joyous is grateful for patience, grateful to know more lessons, more blessings, and so grateful y'all are always here. Thank you, lessons. Thank you, breath. Thanks, Joyous. Good morning, Steve. So good to see you. Gerbot is grateful for the flexibility in my job that lets me be here regularly in the mornings. Me too. Thank you for finding the places in your schedule to be a part of this. Zoe is grateful for audiobooks. I've just discovered the joy of listening to a book while keeping my hands busy. Total game changer. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I only listen to books. I haven't read a book in a long time. I'm loving a book I just got. It depends on what you like. Like, my all-time favorite audiobooks are Shantaram, fictional book based on true stuff it's just awesome. Mostly takes place in India. And what's it called? Fierce Invalids Home from Hot Climates by Tom Robbins. So good. He's so good. And then I'm reading right now, I'm starting to worry about this Black Box of Doom by Jason Pargin. Jason Pargin is, I've talked about him recently. He used to be the editor of Cracked.com, and he wrote the John Dies at the End. And he's also a popular TikToker, and so he writes about a modern, this kind of suspense thing that's happening today, and it's got humor, and he talks about social media in ways you're like, okay, he's very dialed into the current times. It's pretty good. Like he says, in the book, he says, have you noticed, like in movies and stuff, you never see people like just scrolling on their phones on the couch, even though that's probably what the people who are watching this are doing. It's just, he goes, I think it's because, this is a character in the book saying, I think it's because we judge that, and we don't want to be reminded that that's how much of our lives that we're spending watching TV and scrolling. In fact, if you see people watching TV on shows, it's generally to show that they're losers or they're got nothing going on in their lives. I was like, oh my gosh. Mark. Hello. Mark says, yes, to have any other human actually see you and be sensitive to your sensitivities is always cause for gratitude. We're simple beings, aren't we? The being accepted as you are, feeling that you belong, feeling that you don't have to craft and present as a certain way to be accepted, to just be seen and I mean, I won't say loved, but just radically accepted, is a transformative feeling. Why would that beep? Why would you beep on me? Don't do that. Good morning, Kenneth. Kenneth says, nice use of words to allow for someone to think about their response rather than react to a question. Talking about could this be any easier if I helped you? Sorry, the sometimes I'm a little slow with comments. Thanks, Kenneth. Prime Guy says, I'm grateful for you, Halcyon, even though you don't know me. Best love ambassador ever. Thank you. I've had a few talks recently about my grandpa. You're like, oh, really? You're talking about your grandpa? Yeah, I talk about my grandpa all the time. Reverend Caleb Sheichels. And if you haven't seen my TEDx talk, search Hug Nation TEDx on YouTube. I kind of give a little bit of insight into grandpa. But I just watched this video where someone did a piece about us in 2007. And it was so interesting to read or hear me say that I don't think I'm worthy of doing Hug Nation without him. That he's the perfect vessel for being a love ambassador, although I didn't use the words back then, a love ambassador, but he's a love ambassador and I am helping to put his love into the world. But I didn't feel worthy. And it's now, 15 years later and 17 years later. And I think I'm qualified. I think I'm pretty good at it. Thanks, Prime Guys. And what a beautiful reminder that my grandpa's ripples changed me and changed the ripples that I put in the world. And potentially, my ripples change others. Actually, not potentially. We're always, and at some teeny tiny level, every ripple we put in the world affects other people. If you say hello to the cashier, that is a little ripple change. If you don't say hello, that's a ripple too. Now, sometimes the ripples are significant. And I think just knowing that our ripples change the world. The magnitude, that's up to divine. But people say, they want to do something. You want to do something. You want to change the world. It's happening right now. Butterfly effect. Everything you're doing is changing the world. So being a little conscious about being a love ambassador, being kind, being patient, doing what you can to make those ripples positive, uplifting, loving, accepting, being free from judgment, having forgiveness, letting people feel that they are accepted, okay, as is. When someone shows courage, showing appreciation. So thank you very much, Primegeist. Mark is grateful to be watching on a laptop. I often have to watch on my phone. Oh, so if I'm on the laptop, I'm even bigger. Oh. Zoe was a pink pig. That's right. Did you know, and I don't think that Natasha is here today, but in like 2005, she and I started our own theme camp. We were called the Passion Pigs. And we had all sorts of pink costumes that had pigs on them. She had a little squirrely tail. We had like fences that were like pigs, passion pigs. We were pink-haired, sexy as hell, and I think you would have loved it. Yasha says, I am grateful to have bumped into you at the burn as it filled my day with joy that I will never forget. I love hearing that. A little ripple bump. Well, I'm so glad we got to meet. Thank you, Razor Blade. Good morning, Juan. The audiobook. Let's see. Shantaram. Shantaram. And if you can also message me and I'll write you back. I just kind of made a list of some of my favorite books. I'm economy size. Nice. And the Shantaram one, it's the guy who narrates it. He does different Indian accents for the different Indian players. The main character is from New Zealand, I think, Australia. And so he does that accent, and then he does accents like there's a bunch of Indian characters, and each accent he does a little bit different. It's like, it's really impressive. Clowny Face, good morning, says, I have gratitude for your consistency. It allows me to spontaneously participate in gratitude mornings, which makes me happy. Thank you for saying that. You know, when my birthday in May, one of the things that I really kind of tuned in with was that, you know, I don't have, my projects in general are not massive in their reach, but they're consistent. And so it allows for that, like, you know, you're not here every day, but when you do want to connect, you're here. You know what? I am in a little bit of a bind right now. Let's see if I can make this work. Okay, I'm going to play this song because I have to pee so bad. So I'll be right back. At every moment in your beautiful life, you've got one foot in dog poop. And at the very same time in your hand is a cone with an ice cream scoop. The ice cream is ever present, remember crap or cone. It will make all the difference, so you live your life on the throne. The crap is always there, the aches and pains and mean-ass neighbor. The boss who gives you a hard time for all the undone labor. And at the same time the cone is there, sweet and ever present. Laughing babies, your favorite foods. Sunrise in the desert. All right, that was my lyrics. I wrote those lyrics, and then AI did the music behind it. I knew you would like the Passion Pigs. I couldn't believe I didn't think about that when I saw you. Happy birthday, Clowny Face! Happy birthday. How old are you? You don't have to tell us. Awesome. Thanks, Carabot. Yeah, that would actually work kind of well. Now, don't tell anybody this, but I keep a pee jug next to my desk so that if I'm in Zoom calls, I can pee without getting up, because my bladder is sometimes enthusiastic. And I just finished a bunch of tests and went to the urologist and everything. So there's nothing wrong with my prostate, nothing wrong with my bladder. I just drink a lot of liquid, and coffee is not so good at making the bladder at ease. So the doc says, if you can live with it, no, nothing's wrong. I'm like, okay, well then, as long as I have a pee jug next to me at all times. Anyone else want to share a little gratitude before we head off into our days and spread a little bit? Oh, I'm grateful that I had men's group last night, and it was really nice to talk to the guys. And I have two men's groups. One was online last night, and we always give a commitment to the next month, what we're going to do. And what I committed to was to writing an hour a day on the book project that I've been working on. And so I've been doing it the last 2 days, and I started this morning, and I'm excited, a little nervous, because the reason I need to say like an hour, or I might increase that to 2 hours, we'll see, but because I start to write and then I get to a place where I'm stuck, or I'm not liking it, and then rather than just pushing through, I go, well, let's check Facebook, and the next thing you know, it's been 2 hours. So and I was kind of like, oh yeah, I told you I kind of paraphrased my intro, so I guess no reason to read that. Any other gratitude that anyone want to share anymore? I am grateful that my body is feeling good enough that I went on a little bitty jog this morning, did a few push-ups, definitely feeling like I got to just not push it, but grateful that my body is moving a little bit. I'm grateful that I'm going to Connecticut tomorrow. Oh my gosh. I'm going to see Asher. We'll probably be in bed by the time I get to Connecticut tomorrow. Got a full day of flight. So that means uncertain if I will be broadcasting. I will tomorrow. Tomorrow I will broadcast, which is Friday if you're watching this archive. And then Saturday, Sunday, I'm going to really try, because it's so fun to do gratitude or to do morning broadcasts with Asher. So Saturday and Sunday I will try to broadcast with Asher. But if I don't, that's why. And if you're and someone can confirm this is true, but if you subscribe to Hug Nation on YouTube, and I think you hit the bell icon, you will get a notice say, hey, he's live. Juan says, I'm grateful for pee jugs. 90% of the time I use them. So wait, do you use a pee jug 90% of the time that you are urinating throughout default world life? Or do you mean that 90% of the time that you use them, you are grateful for them? Because both are impressive answers. Yeah, my every once in a while I'll see people on Burning Man boards talking about pee jugs, or talking about, there's a couple things that I've seen people say recently on Burning Man like groups or Reddit, and I'm like, I wonder if they have seen me say that in the past. Like, that seems very similar to the way that I have explained things. Thank you, Gerbot. I am very much looking forward to it. It's been a little too long. He's at this age where even if I don't see him online for 2 weeks, I feel like he's different. He's rapidly growing. Well, I am grateful for this opportunity to connect. 365 P Jug. Respect, Juan. Well, I am grateful for a chance to share gratitude and connection and passion pigs and birthdays. Happy birthday, Clowny Face. And I hope everyone has a beautiful Thursday. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow if you're around, and hope that we have a chance to share more gratitudes. I told you guys about the metal detector guy at the beach, that we had this cool love ambassador connection. And it was a reminder of immediacy. Like the guy was at the beach, he approached me to talk, and I was at the moment after, as we were talking, I walked away. I started to walk away because I was so like in my story of I got to get home and do this, and then I was like, wait a minute, this immediacy. Like, I'm totally curious, and so I asked him a question about things that he has discovered, and I'm so glad I did. But it was a good reminder to, as a love ambassador, you have to remind yourself about immediacy and notice that your brain is often like getting you, what's next? Do the thing that's next. Be efficient. Don't waste time. And in the over commitment to your plan, you're missing the magic. One of the Burning Man gifts is that I think we let go a little bit, and we know that, well, I'm heading this direction, but that doesn't mean something awesome isn't going to be right here or right here. And then you let yourself go, okay, I'm going to miss the magic show I was going to, and I'm going to see this thing that's right in front of me that I had no idea existed until I turned my head. Good morning, Anastasia. Well, wherever you are, I invite you to join me in a hug that I've been doing either daily or weekly for 23 years. So as we do this hug that has been connecting us around the world, including people in the past, so Grandpa Caleb is a part of this, recognizing that we're all more alike than we're different, amplifying our gratitudes, feeling gratitude for the bodies we're in, for the days ahead, for the healing, giving ourselves a little break, a little forgiveness and patience, and letting ourselves give forgiveness and patience for the people in our world as well. Knowing we're all doing the best we can with what we got in the moment. So let's take a deep breath and squeeze one another. On behalf of Reverend Caleb Sheichels and all of us here, thanks for being here for this gratitude gathering and love morning ambassador meetup. I love you. Enjoy the day. Thank you, Joyous. Be here now. Yes, Scarebot. My understanding is that I'm a little early for fall colors this year. I thought I might see the fall colors, but according to Amy, it's still beautifully green, which will be perfect as well. You are so